Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaura Vani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vastyatya Desha Harine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda birds. Okay. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna. Okay. Rama
Gentlemen, to the 7th annual Mantra Retreat. So we all know that men are punctual. So that our two devotees from Melantra showed up at 3 minutes to 4. I arrived at 11 minutes to 4. Some of us came before 4, some or other, but anyway, more people together. And so glad you're all here. A couple of introductions. Bhakti Marg Swami, you all know, who's the inspiration of the Mantra Marg and I were strolling through Oakland, California about 8 years ago. He was on one of his 17 walks across North America. And I joined him for an hour and a half, which is about all it could take. Actually, a little more than that, 3 days. But then we said we need to have a forum for men to get together and meet once in a while, talk about how to be better men in Krishna consciousness. So we came up with this idea, and so far we've had a good response, and we really appreciate all of you being here. You'll notice the first topic, which we'll introduce in 2 minutes, being productive men without becoming toast. In case you're wondering, that's why there was no air conditioning up here. We wanted you all to feel like toast to create the mood before the session starts. So we turn on the air conditioning, you cool it down, so you'll have a realization of your own lifetime how to get away from feeling toast. A couple of quick announcements. Raise your hand if you met Raj. Just a few you. Okay, Raj Prabhu from Toronto is kind of the backbone of this whole program. He's at the Welcome Center. We hope not the whole weekend, but he really is the one that keeps everything going. And if you were wondering, those of you that are speaking, working out tickets, and those of you that drove over how to get here, where to stay. So hopefully we'll get a chance to personally introduce him to you. There have been some years that he was there most of the time. We hope that's going to be that quick. But just to introduce the mantra team, stand up, please. This is Butter Prabhu. He's based in Montreal, and he's really been an important part of our team for the last, I think, 4 years. Raj is there, Mirage is there, I'm there. Partha Prabhu, who the only way to keep him from this event is you have to set British Columbia on fire. Somebody did that. I don't know which one of you did that, but it was over the top. But anyway, he's stuck there because you all know, what's it called, Sharanagati community, major crisis. A lot of homes were burned down, and somehow most of Bodhi's properties were saved. But he lives there, and he's there helping out in that really difficult situation. So he's also been a very, very important part of our team. So I want to just give thanks to those team members. So I mentioned the team members first because we're channeling Raj here. Raj is such a good organizer. He sent me a list of things I have to tell you. Before we can have fun, I have to tell you things. Okay, that's because Raj is our organizer. So all of you, please be respectful regarding sharing the room. Most of you checked off that you snore loudly and nobody else can tolerate your snoring when we put you together. He said something like, I paraphrased it a little bit, but something like that. Please be respectful if you share your room. Checkout time Sundays, 11 o'clock. That's a long ways away, but just one activity. Because New Vrindavan always is a lot of turnover, so they need to get the rooms cleaned early on time, so plan on that 11 o'clock. If you don't have your name tag and wrist, see I have my name tag and wristband, then you will be flogged outside the temple for at least, no, it doesn't say. And please get one from the Welcome Center. If you don't have one yet, please stop there to get one. Save the name tags and holder for future use. And then without becoming toast. Then at 6 we take about a 15-minute break, and we have Harinam. Do we want to start here or actually down there?
We usually do at the temple.
Okay, so we'll start at the temple. So if you want to need to go to your rooms and freshen up or whatever. Then at 6:15 we'll have a short Harinam march up to the palace and see Srila Prabhupada and continue the kirtan there for a few minutes. Any of you haven't been to the palace in the last year or two? Raise your hand if you haven't been there. Okay, so at least about a third of us, so that's good. That'd be a special treat to see the palace, right? So then we have this feast there at 7 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock, down from the palace, and we'll give everybody directions because usually it's dark about then. Down in the area, there's a big kind of open area there that we have a bonfire, which is also a lot of fun. And we've invited His Holiness Rashana Swami to come and share some kata with us. He did that last year. It was a big hit. We always really liked hearing from him. We've done different things in the past. We told proper stories, and everybody chipped in like that. But we asked Rashana Swami to come again, be with us. And then 9 o'clock, Harinam back to the temple. Those of you that don't know, another good news. There's so much good news connected to this festival. Anybody know what time Mongol Arati starts here?
5.
Yes, not 4, like some places, not 4:15, not 4:30, but 5. Okay? We've heard they specially arranged that years ago, knowing there would be a mantra retreat in the future. So having you all in mind, 30 years ago or so, they decided that would be scheduled. The rest of it, just briefly, morning program from 5 till 9. Breakfast, as I mentioned, the community hall, and everything else is up here, except for shopping. So we come up back here at 10 o'clock for the rest of the presentations. Yadanath Prabhu, who just joined us. Yadanath is a wonderful devotee, right? He worked, or maybe he still works part-time, as a professional, it's not stand-up, it's improv. And he's in a presentation. Seriously, let's stop taking ourselves so seriously. Okay? Then after that, Buddha Bhavana Prabhu, who is here, joined us all the way from the UK. We'll give a little more elaborate introduction at a later time, but he's doing a presentation, Transformation Through Talents, how to give your gifts in Krishna's service. Buddha Bhavana was with us at the very first mantra, and then he's back. So we're excited about that, thank you. Then lunch prashadam. Then, we've done this only once before, we thought this year would be a good time to do a little bit of sense of the MC's schedule coming up. So, just to kind of break the ice a little bit, because the purpose of this event, we all come to different ideas, but when Marge and I talked about it, it was the sense that, especially today, the role of women in society is changing, the role of men in society is changing. There's a lot of questions. What does it really mean to be a good father in Christian consciousness? What does it mean to be a good son, to be a brother, to be a brahmachari, to be a sannyasi, all those different roles that we play in these bodies as men. So how can we have a sangha, a retreat that talks about how we can do better fulfilling those roles? Also deepening our relationships between men. We all know as guys that we're the half of the gender divide that really knows relationships easily, right? We all know from the time we were 7 years old, we were thinking, I hope I can grow up and have a nice relationship with my spouse, right? Right? Monica Paul, you would think like that, right? No, okay, there's not as many. So we sometimes need extra help working on relationships with each other. So we want to try to have an opportunity to cultivate those. It gives us strength. We all know, speaking seriously now, you know, being a devotee is not as easy as we maybe thought it was at one point in our life. We go through challenges. We go through, birth, death, old and disease, old age and diseases there. Death is not too far away. Some of our senior devotees have passed away. Financial issues, emotional issues, intellectual issues, psychological issues, work, occupational issues, so many things. So we need to be strong to maintain Krishna consciousness. I don't know the numbers. Sometimes they will do it, but I think if we looked at how many people have been initiated as devotees, how many are continuing to seriously practice, it's a long ways from 100%. And what percentage of people have gone away completely is probably a lot higher than we would like to think about. Because a large part of the material world is a tough place. So how do we get strength? You know, it's important for us how do we strengthen our Krishna consciousness. So that's the main purpose of this 3 days together. How do we get strength in building relationships with each other and go deeper in our Krishna consciousness? I want to point out Thomas here, Prabhu, so I don't do it at the end. Stand up for a second, Thomas. Thomas is the editor, among many other things he's achieved. He's the editor of ISKCON News. Okay. A lot of you deserve at least an 8 or 10 page profile on your own personal contributions to the world. See him. Okay, if you like, get yourself written up in ISKCON News. And we're always looking for writers. He's here to connect with a lot of the men here and also look for additional stories. If you don't read ISKCON News, please do. ISKCONnews.org. It's the best way for them to look at it, to find it. And we appreciate that Thomas came all the way from Idaho. Any New Yorkers here? Raise your hand if you're from New York. Okay, Idaho's somewhere on the other side of Jersey. Okay, the details you don't need to worry about, but it's way over there, right, Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Which part of Idaho?
Oh, I'm about 2.5 hours south of Yellowstone, so the biggest city would be Pocatello. I don't expect
You can get the details from him later. The big town nearby has one stoplight. It hasn't worked since 1956, but it's there. I'm just making fun. You live in a beautiful part of the country. So we just want to take a couple minutes before Prasadama starts. Please, to get a chance, and we may do this a little more during the weekend, we tend as men, I know I do, I'll go to an event, I'll sit in the corner with one person I know, I'll say hi to the guy in front of me in line, and that's all I'll say, and I go away 3 days later, and I didn't really meet a whole lot of people, make a lot of friends. We need to meet people, make a lot of friends. So please, find a group of about 5 people, let's say 3. Find a group of 3 people who you don't know, any 3 people you don't know. Briefly introduce your name, where you're from, and what you hope to take away from this experience this weekend. We're just going to take 5 minutes just to quickly kind of get a sense of who's in the room. Dr. Mark Swami, you probably know everybody here, but try to find someone that you don't know. Any 3 people, not people you came with, people you don't know. What's your name, where you're from, what you hope to take away from this experience. And then we'll jump in and have Prasad and talk about how we can not be toast. Okay, whole wheat bread's okay, but not toast. Okay, please find 3 people and introduce yourself.